Well, hello everybody. My name's Casey,
And I'm Renelle.
and we're going to go over a few things about Generation RX with you guys. I first want to start off with telling you what Generation RX is. The mission of Generation RX is to educate people of all ages about the potential dangers of misusing prescription medications and strive to enhance medication safety. We have a few objectives that we're going to go over, and the first one is to discuss the 5 steps to becoming medication smart. The second one is to define asthma and discuss the effect of the disease on the body. And the third one is to identify and discuss the proper way to dispose of prescription medications. So at the end of this, we're going to be able to cover all these objectives, and you're going to be able to teach it back to me. So, what does it mean to be medication smart? We want to know what is the name of your medication and what are you taking it for. We also want to know how and when do I take the medication for how long? What foods, drinks, and other medications or activities should I avoid while taking the medicine? And then finally, are there any side effects, and what are they, and what do I do if they occur? Some examples would be like if you saw side effects, it would be like maybe you weren't feeling good after you took the medication. We also want to look at the prescription and make sure it's ours, and we'll do that we're going to show you guys little examples with different medications to show you. And then we're going to be medication smart. And this is Rex. We're going to introduce you to him. And what is he, guys? That's right. He's a pill bottle. So we're going to be able to go over what his label says, and we're going to be able to identify everything to make sure that you guys are medication smart. So this is a prescription label, and we're going to go over the different things that you should know when reading a prescription. First off, you want to start off with making sure the name that is on the prescription is yours and not someone else's, because we don't share medication. Just like you wouldn't share your clothes with another person, you wouldn't want to share anything else, like you don't want to share underwear, stuff like that, so we don't want to share our medication either. The second thing we want to go over is make sure that the medication we're taking, we know the name and the strength of it, and make sure what we're using it for. We also want to go over that you want to be able to tell, like you can tell what the number of refills are, the number of the prescription that we have, and also like where we're getting it from the pharmacy. We want to make sure that it's also not expired, because you don't want to eat expired food, so you wouldn't want to take expired medications. And you also want to go over like how to take your medication properly, and we would do it by reading it, and it says to take 1 capsule by mouth 3 times a day. And we're going to show you guys, we'll pass this around so you guys can get familiar with it. The next thing is we have an auxiliary labeling, and this pretty much helps you know if there's certain specific ways you should take your medication, whether you should take it with food, whether you shouldn't crush it, maybe it has to be kept in the refrigerator. It just helps you make sure that your medication's been taken properly. And we want to reiterate that you want to take your medicines as prescribed. There's 3 out of 4 people do not take medications as prescribed, and we don't want to share medications. I just want to reiterate that. Just like you wouldn't want to share other things with your friends, you don't want to share your medications. Also, you want to finish all medications as required by your doctor. So if you're taking an antibiotic to help you with an infection, you would want to take the full dose so that you get rid of it and it doesn't come back and become reoccurring. And also, we're going to discuss asthma. So asthma is a chronic disease that causes your airways to become inflamed. It makes it really hard to breathe, and this inflammation is often caused by triggers. Some of these triggers would include your pets, your pollen, extreme emotions, weather changes, smoking, chemicals, dust mites, exercise, stress, and many more. Do any of you guys have asthma in the room? And I know maybe none of you guys might have it, but it is an extreme thing that it occurs a lot in youth, and you end up growing up with it. These triggers might make it hard for you to breathe or wheeze, and so we want to help you learn how to treat it.
So now we're going to talk about controlling your asthma. Number one, you know your triggers and how to avoid them. Number 2, you take your asthma medication as prescribed. And number 3, track your asthma and recognize when symptoms are getting worse. And these are some of the asthma medication devices.
We're going to be teaching you guys how to use them, and we're going to have examples to show you guys.
Right. Okay, how to use medication devices. Remove the cap and hold the inhaler upright. Shake the inhaler. Tilt your head slightly back and breathe out. Hold the inhaler upright. Press down on the inhaler to release the medicine as you start to breathe in slowly. Breathe in slowly for 3 to 5 seconds. Hold your breath for 10 seconds to allow medicine to go deeply into your lungs. Then repeat puffs as directly. Wait about 1 minute before puffs to allow the second puff to get into your lungs better. Okay, and this is safe medication disposal. Why is medication disposal important? Medications are important for treating many conditions and diseases. When these medicines are no longer needed, it's important to dispose of them safely. Dispose of unwanted medications in such a way that reduces potential harm to others, pets, family, and harm to the environment. Okay. Do you think that pouring medications in the trash is a safe disposal method? No. Throwing pills away in the trash without putting them in a sealed container can be dangerous. We don't want our pets or animals or our little brothers or sisters getting into our trash and eating the pills. Do you think flushing unwanted pills, liquids, and patches down the toilet is a safe method? No. When medication is flushed down the toilet, it can make its way to the water system, rivers, lakes, creeks, etc. When fish and other animals are exposed to the chemicals in medicine, it can be very harmful. So how are we supposed to dispose of our unwanted and unused medication? These are some options for disposal. We have the Medication Take Back Program, which is the DEE National Prescription Take Back Days, or you can take it to the local police department. Medication disposal systems. What have you learned today? Can anybody tell me what you've learned today? Okay, now we're just going to do a recap. Take medications as prescribed. Do not share medications. Be asthma wise and use asthma medications properly. Dispose of medications properly with a trusted adult.
Yeah, and we just want to go over a few things. We're going to pass around some. We're going to look at the inhalers, and maybe you guys can show us how to use it properly. We also want you to look around at the labels and make sure you're able to read it properly and you understand what it's saying. And if you ever are in doubt, go to a trusted adult or someone that you guys look up to that can help you guys read the label properly to make sure you're taking your medications as it's supposed to be taken. We'll be passing these out, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to let us know. All right? Thank you.
Thank you.